My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to give you my bets for UFC 298. But before I do, let me give you $50. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/bets, sign up with any one of our partners, make a deposit, and we send you $50 as a thank you. It's affiliate marketing. You're going to sign up. You're going to use the link. They're going to pay me because you did that. And then I'm going to slice off some of that money, and I'm going to give it right back to you. wewantpicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit, and we will send you $50. Here's a quick look at how last week went. Overall, this year has been phenomenal. We have been up units. We have crushed every single card in 2024. Last week specifically, Jacob's Lock of the Week hit again. That has not lost in 2024. And my safety parlay hit again. That has not lost well beyond 2024. We are on an 8 parlay win streak. The safety parlay is a members-only parlay. If you just go to wewantpicks.com, you click Become a Member at the top. It's only $10, and you'll unlock not only the parlay, but so much more. The safety parlay is a beacon of stability in this wild sport. Week in and week out, I'm seeing comments, oh, I got destroyed last night. Oh, last night was rough. Last night was bad for everybody. Well, A, not here. We've been doing really well. And B, not the safety parlay. The word safe means something in this parlay. I've hit 10 of the last 11. It hits at a 72% event win streak, and the lifetime ROI is 31%. What I will say, as much as I'm pushing the hell out of this thing because it is literally the best bet in this space, this doesn't say 100%. It says 72%. It does not say 100%. It is not a guarantee. Nothing is. But this is as close to a guarantee as you're going to get in this space. You can unlock the safety parlay right now for not only this event, but 4 events. That $10 a month gets you a full month, and there will be 4 events in this month. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top, and it's more than some bets. You're going to get some tools like the line movement tracker. This is going to give you the opening odds, the current odds, the win probability, and the line movement for every single fighter on every single card. You're also going to get the detailed data, metrics, and analytics. Where I find this especially useful is prop bets. Immediately working your way across, you'll see average fight minutes. You'll see how many takedowns somebody gets per fight, how many takedowns the other person defends. You'll see all that data, and you can attack some prop bets with this. So much more that I don't have time to mention. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. Let's talk about 298 specifically. I got a couple of confident favorites and some solid underdogs. This is a card where I feel like people have a lot of false confidence, right? Pay-per-views come around and people think, and for the most part, they're not wrong, that pay-per-views are a little safer, right? The matchmaking is a little set up on purpose to showcase some talent and things like that. Mexico City next week, very similar. A lot of 2-1 favorites on that card. So people have a lot of false hope when pay-per-views come around. What I will say, while I do think most of the favorites on this card win, there are a bunch of favorites that should not have the lines that they have, and we all know what one punch can do in a lot of these fights. So let me walk you through my most confident favorites. Obviously, Rinya Nakamura, do nothing with that information. He is minus 1,400. That is not worth the risk. At the end of the day, this is still a fist fight. This is not a team sport. One guy makes one mistake for a half a second, this whole thing is over. So minus 1,400 is not worth it. It just isn't worth it. And I know I'm going to see a whole bunch of 10-leg parlays, and Rinya's going to be in there. It is just not worth the extra 50 cents to have somebody at these odds in there, not in a fist fight. So let's eliminate that. Then we have Amanda Lemos. Here's the reality of this situation. Obviously, her opponent, Mackenzie Dern, is a pretty high-level athlete that has accomplished incredible things in the jiu-jitsu world. But this isn't the jiu-jitsu world. And if we've learned anything, it's that Mackenzie Dern has not learned to shoot a takedown. She has no idea how to take somebody down. She has a 14% takedown accuracy. She's the best fighter on the ground, potentially in the UFC, definitely in her division. But if she can't get you to the ground, what does she have to offer? There was a little glimpse of hope when she outstruck Angela Hill. And then what happened? Jessica Andrade just beat her brakes in. So I think Amanda Lemos, who has phenomenal takedown defense, Amanda Lemos, who is a very good striker, and Amanda Lemos, who has good jiu-jitsu, should cruise to a victory. These odds feel like a trap. She should be, if you only looked at their performances and you didn't know their resumes and you just saw their performances, you would think in the last 5 fights that Amanda Lemos will be the 5-1 favorite. The fact that these odds are close is actually bizarre. The only way Mackenzie Dern wins this fight is by submission. She's not going to knock out Amanda Lemos. She's not going to decision her with accurate point striking. The only way she wins is submission. Sure. Could she get Amanda against the cage and climb her body like she did Tisha Torres? Of course. It's a fight. Anything is possible. But I don't see that happening. I think Amanda Lemos at minus 135 or minus 122 if you go to Bet Openly. You're going to get far better odds on every single sport, every single time at Bet Openly. Amanda Lemos makes a lot of sense. Then we got Merab Dvalishvili. As much as I hate to say this because I love Henry Cejudo, I've been a Henry Cejudo fan long before he started his MMA career. Merab Dvalishvili is the exact type of style that will beat Henry Cejudo. Yes, he's an Olympic gold medalist wrestler. But I've said this countless times on this channel. It is far easier to finish a takedown than defend one. And it's not like Merab is some high school level wrestler like Aljamain Sterling was. And guess what? Aljo got 4 takedowns when he fought Henry Cejudo. So Merab, the Georgian wrestler who takes down everybody multiple times, is going to fight a 37-year-old, fought one time in 3 years, Henry Cejudo. I just think Merab is going to be the most boring guy on planet Earth. Hold Henry against the cage, get some takedowns. His cardio, he can do it. There's only 3 rounds. He can do it for 5, no problem. So I think Merab gets it done. I think it's a pretty straightforward fight, honestly, just boring as hell. And then we have Ian Gary. And I know a lot of you hate him. And you let that blind hate cloud your judgment. And it clouds your assessment of his skills. He's a good fighter. Yeah, he's unbearable. And I think we're all rooting against him, right? I think that's a safe assumption to make. He does some pretty nasty things. He printed a shirt with Jeff Neal's mugshot on it. He tried to accuse Neil Magny of beating his kids. Like, Ian Gary's not a good person. And then he wants to sit there and half cry in a microphone. Oh, I'm sure you guys made fun of my wife. Dude, your wife wrote a book about how to snag a professional athlete. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Anyway, Ian Gary sucks as a human. He's good as a fighter. He's got very accurate pinpoint strikes. Decent power. He doesn't have huge one-punch knockout power, but his strikes are so accurate, they're so fast, they're so clean, he can stop people. He's also got very good takedown defense. And he's fighting Jeff Neal. Yeah, Jeff Neal is a powerful guy, a tough guy. I think this fight will go the distance. I think Jeff Neal will continue to plot forward and throw big and try to find that big one-punch knockout. But I can't be picking a guy or betting on a guy and I'm just hoping for a one-punch knockout when he's not the better fighter. If you're the better fighter and you have power, excellent. If you're not the better fighter and you're probably going to lose, but you might land that one punch, that doesn't make sense. I do have a bet on this fight, and I will show you that bet in a second, but I do think Ian Gary gets it done. And then we have some solid underdogs. Heavyweight right off the rip. Justin Tafa, plus 125. How can you not? This dude has wild one-punch knockout power. And while I just said I can't bet on a guy that I'm just hoping for one punch, that's different because Ian Gary is a very skilled, pinpoint accurate fighter that definitely should win that fight. Justin Tafa is a heavyweight fighting another heavyweight. And the other heavyweight, Rogerio de Lima, is not a better striker. He's a striker. He's not the better striker. He's certainly the better grappler, but he has to take Justin down. Nobody's been able to take Justin down. His legs are built like a Volkswagen. So all of a sudden we have Justin Tafa, who can't be taken down, who has insane power and is the better striker at plus 125. I do think that makes sense. While Rogerio de Lima probably wins this fight, holding him against the cage, running down the time, running down the clock, maybe drags him to the ground. The problem is we don't know what Justin's going to look like on the ground. It's never happened. But Justin Tafa is a very good underdog at plus 125. Breitson Ribeiro. Yeah, this guy can get finished. He's been finished in 5 of his 6 losses. But he's a good fighter. And his opponent has a very hollow record, an insanely hollow record. Go through Zhang's Tapology. Look at his fight history. It is one of the most hollow records we have seen. So yeah, he's surging right now. He won the road to the UFC tournament. But he's a heavyweight, or not a heavyweight, he's a light heavyweight who has been beating up middleweights with losing records to get here. I just don't see how that guy is as decent of a favorite as he is. Breitson Ribeiro can strike. He certainly can grapple. He's very aggressive on the ground. I think he's a solid underdog here, especially if we're comparing records and accomplishments. And then Roman Kopylov. It's kind of baffling to me that this line continues to widen. When we started this, right, I put out quick pick videos on Sundays, Tuesdays we go live, and then Fridays I do a DraftKings video and a bet video. When I started this on Sunday, Roman Kopylov was like plus 150. Now he's plus 210. So people are looking at Anthony Hernandez, who's a grappler with some pretty shit striking. And then they're looking at Roman Kopylov, who's got decent takedown defense and phenomenal striking. And they're saying this guy should be a huge favorite. And they're betting on Anthony Hernandez. And I get, last week we saw the grappler versus striker matchup and the grappler won that. But this is a different matchup. Roman Kopylov is insanely dangerous on his feet. Roman Kopylov is insanely tough. And Anthony Hernandez, his takedowns are not very good. He has zero control whatsoever. He takes people down, they pop right back up. And his striking is atrocious. This should be a 50-50 fight to me. This should not be a fight where there's a minus 280 and a plus 210. That should not be the fight. Roman Kopylov is a very good underdog, and I do have a bet on him. I got him at plus 205. I mean, these lines are going to continue. The fact that I bet Roman Kopylov at plus 205 and still didn't get the best value is crazy to me. I am filming this before weigh-ins, so we'll see what happens at weigh-ins. Roman's going to be the bigger guy, and I don't think people realize it. So those odds might tighten up a bit, but either way, I think Roman Kopylov can get it done. All he has to do is defend the early takedowns, stand up. If he stands up a few times and defends a couple of early takedowns, Anthony's done. He's got nothing else. That's it. That was it. I had to get this to the ground to win. I got it to the ground. He popped up on me. I got nothing else. And that's going to be a rude awakening. Obviously, Roman could get taken down and submitted almost immediately. That is certainly possible. But I'm going to shoot my shot on Roman Kopylov at plus 205. If this was even money, I would not bet it. It doesn't make sense at even money. At plus 205, I already think he wins, and the upside on that is tremendous. Then I bet the Amanda Lemos Mackenzie Dern over 2.5 rounds. That was plus money. And I think it's a sneaky good bet because the reality is Mackenzie is very tough. We just watched Jessica Andrade give her some CTE. We just saw that. But Jessica Andrade is the most powerful woman in this division. And Mackenzie Dern was just sort of flailing there. Amanda Lemos is accurate, is powerful with her strikes, but I think she's going to skate on the outside, try to avoid, and I think she's going to pitter-patter a little more than she usually does. And I also think Amanda Lemos has good enough submission defense to not be submitted. I think this sneakily goes to a decision, but only a quarter of a unit because the reality is both of them are coming off really bad losses. Then we have Jeff Neal, wins inside the distance decision, no action. So I just did my whole piece about Jeff Neal and how he's not the better fighter, but he can land a punch. And that's what this bet represents. If Jeff Neal knocks out Ian Gary, we all cheer. We all go, oh my God. And then we go, yeah, that guy sucks. Then I get paid. But if Jeff Neal loses a decision where Ian Gary just pot shots his way to a win and Ian Gary uses that laser pinpoint accuracy to win a decision, I get a full refund on this bet. It's like the bet never happened. And that's what inside the distance decision no action means. A lot of you message me and a lot of you comment on the video saying, where do you get that bet? Almost every single bet we use is either bet online or bet openly, right? Depends what kind of odds I'm looking for. Bet online certainly has that prop bet. And it's called win inside the distance decision no action. There are a couple of other sportsbooks that have it as well. And they typically call it finish only. So if you see finish only, that's what this bet is. And if you want to sign up for Bet Online, do it using our link at WeWantPicks.com/bets, and I'll send you $50 as a thank you. Then I have the exact same bet on Paulo Costa. I do think Robert Whittaker wins this fight. I think Robert Whittaker is just the better fighter. But he's been dropped in like 7 of his last 10 fights or something crazy like that. He's getting a little older. He's getting a little beat up. And it is possible that Costa, who is an absolute dog, go watch his fight with anybody, basically. Except Izzy, because he was hungover that day. Bizarre. I got a title fight. Let me drink wine all night and the next day not show up. Anyway, Paulo Costa is a dog. He was in a dog fight with Yoel Romero. He was in a dog fight with Luke Rockhold. He's a dog. And if he can make it fight ugly and somehow squeak out a decision or something like that, I will get paid. In all likelihood, he loses a decision. Robert Whittaker doesn't finish anybody. And I'll get a full refund on that bet as well. Then I did a parlay. I parlayed Merab Dvalishvili's money line, so he just needs to win. And I parlayed that with the Costa-Whittaker fight over 1.5 rounds. The fact that that was a 1.5 round line is crazy to me. I don't know why that's a 1.5 round line. Costa's not finishing people in the first round. Robert Whittaker's not finishing people in the first round or the second. So I don't know why that was a 1.5 round line, but we'll go ahead and take advantage of that. Full unit on there, plus 120. And then in premium bets, I have a 2-fighter money line bet at plus 119, and then the safety parlay at minus 140. All in, I'm in for 4.25 units, and the return is more than double, over a 100% ROI. Here's a closer look at that safety parlay. As I mentioned, we're crushing it. I'm on a 8 parlay win streak. That is tied with my all-time record. If the parlay hits again, that brings us to 9, and that is the new record for consecutive safety parlay hits. I have hit 10 of the last 11. The only one I missed was a big mistake. I put a UFC debut in it, and I paid that price when Cody Brundage bounced his head off of the floor. It does hit at a 72% event win percentage. I said percent twice. The reality is, if you're sort of new to the MMA betting space, that is an astronomical number. As we all know, one single punch changes everything. One single hype prospect fights an old veteran and doesn't get it done. One wild submission, one weird referee stop. Anything can happen in this sport. This is not a team sport. There's not 12 guys, 8 guys out there that can pick up slack if you're not doing well. So it hits at a 72% event win percentage, which is absolutely wild. The lifetime ROI is 31%, meaning if you put $100 down, you get $131 back. You can unlock this safety parlay. There's only $10 a month to get everything that we do, and this is a per month subscription, meaning you sign up today, and then you have the next 4 events included with that freaking $10. And according to these statistics, I have never had a month where we were upside down. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. Here's a sneak peek for Jacob. Jacob's got about 9 units on the board. This is being filmed before weigh-ins. After weigh-ins, they drop all of the other prop bets, like who wins round 1 on the scorecards, or who's going to get more takedowns. All of those prop bets get dropped after the weigh-ins. Jacob has been up money every single card this year. And if you spend any time on Twitter this year, you know it's basically been a bloodbath of bad bets and hitching your ride to the wrong guy. Not Jacob. This is the new 2024 conservative Jake. He's got a couple of flyer bets. He's got a plus $3,500 bet in there, but I think he put $15 on it or $5, something crazy. Either way, the new conservative Jacob has been doing insanely well. Here's a little teaser for a couple of his bets. You can unlock the rest of them by becoming a premium member. Paulo Costa plus 210. Paulo Costa is his underdog lock of the week. If you have not seen that video, I recommend you do watch it. It is always wildly entertaining. And then the Barlow-Quinlan fight does not go the distance. That's not a shocker. That shouldn't go the distance. But you can unlock the rest of his bets by becoming a premium member. And don't forget, check out BetOpenly. I've mentioned a few times in this video, they've got the best odds in the game. And that's because they're not a sports book, right? DraftKings, BetOnline, FanDuel, they're sports books. Their entire business model is, I set a line, people bet on that line, hopefully more people lose than they win, and I get to keep some of the money, and that's how this goes, right? That's how sports books work. And you try to be the small percentage of people that are better than the sports books, as we have been doing for the last couple of years. BetOpenly is not a sports book. They are peer-to-peer betting. So they don't care who wins or loses because it's my money versus your money. And they just take a 1% fee off the top to keep the developers paid and the website running and all of that. So go check out BetOpenly. You're always going to get better odds because instead of setting a line, even money on a sports book, a dead even line on a sports book is minus 110 because they need to keep that gap. They need to keep that percentage to guarantee profit on their end. BetOpenly doesn't care. They just do the 1%. So an even money bet on BetOpenly is plus 100, plus 100. Check them out. You can go to WeWantPicks.com/BetOpenly or just BetOpenly.com. And if you need a couple of schmackerinos, just go to, I don't know why I just called it that. Go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our partners using our links, make a deposit, and we send you $50 as a thank you.